Good morning and welcome back to My Crypto Journey live stream here for coffee and crypto on a beautiful Tuesday day. And as you can see, I'm back in the lab, baby. So before we even get started, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching over on X, make sure to like, repost, and give your boy a follow. It's good to see you guys. Happy Tuesday. Go Buccaneers, baby. No other team matters. Let's go, baby. We're 1-0, undefeated this season. And a lot to talk about today, guys. So obviously, massive crypto hack over the last day, but it was kind of lackluster. But the crazy thing is that everyone was reporting on it, and we're starting to talk about 50 and 70 point basis hikes, 70 for the interest rate cuts. Interest rate cuts, which would be absolutely insane. So that was kind of the factor that I thought could be a wild card in this whole interest rate cut situation, because obviously we're all expecting 25 basis points, right? But the fact that maybe Jerome Powell has made this a little political, right? Shout out to Javi. And the fact that we probably should have started cutting interest rates sooner, we could get a bunch of interest rate cuts at once, which could send the entire market into the stratosphere, obviously, right? Now, I do think the 25 basis point interest rate cuts are priced in for today's crypto price, Bitcoin price, but who knows? If these conversations start to heat up, things could get a lot crazier. So welcome to the stream, guys. It's so good to see you guys. Let's have a banger of a stream this morning. Selmo Fudd, #1 in the stream this morning. How we doing, Selmo Fudd? Let's go, baby. Good to see you. Appreciate you, Selmo Fudd, tapping in early. Someone's got to get there early before Javi every day. Josh, good morning. Good morning. How we doing, Josh? Javi says about time. Thanks, Selmo Fudd. I think Javi's like 90 for like 3 right now. You know what I mean? Don, good morning. How we doing, Mr. Miggles family in the house? Michi, good morning. Jay Hawk, how we doing, brother? Good morning. Good morning. How's the car building going? Dr. MW Kitchen, good morning. JD Davis, how you doing, brother? Or J Davis, how you doing? One Life, No Regrets, good morning. Edgar, good morning. Pepe says target price Pepe. We'll talk about Pepe here in a little bit. Edgar, good morning. World Liberty Finance pump. That's good. It's good that it had a nice little pump. We'll see how much it pumped here, but I don't see anything on the day chart. Let's go and pull up the crypto bubbles so you guys get a nice visual of what's going on in the market today. So it looks like this is the day chart. It looks like World Liberty Finance maybe pumped since the time we've the last 24 hours, but not currently. MYX has been absolutely ripping. This is the second day this thing is up 120 something percent. So I don't know what that is. I checked it out. I mean, this chart went absolutely insane. You can see it right here. If CoinMarketCap wants to load for me this morning, this website's so hit or miss. MYX, you see MYX. Yeah, MYX Finance. I mean, look at this thing over the last month. These are the type of plays where I'm like, damn, I wish I would have got in. Dude, what's up with CoinMarketCap? Why are we not working this morning? But this is MYX. Look at this. Look at this. This is this is nuts. I mean, over the last week, it's up 1,000%, 1,300%, which is crazy. You know, that's nuts. That's nuts to me. So whatever MYX Finance is, you know, doing some crazy things at a $3.3 billion market cap size. I'm sure we could check it out. It's a BNB token. We'll have to see, but very, very interesting, right? Crazy, crazy times in the crypto space. And these are like the altcoins that could do some crazy things. Yeah, what the hell is MYX? Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, Bandito Crave. I have no clue. I mean, we could check it out, I guess, real quick before we get into the news. Why not? MYX Finance, it wants to connect to my wallet right away. Sure. So what is this? It's a trading platform? I think it's a trading platform. Oh, it's a trading platform. Okay. So MYX is a trading platform. Wow. BNB chain. So pretty sweet. MYX airdrop is live. Claim your MYX rewards and be a part of the next on-chain perp revolution. Yeah. So an exchange. This thing came out in September. So it's relative. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, this month. Okay. So this is brand spanking new. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. They got listed on CoinMarketCap pretty quick. I'm used to meme coins that take forever to get listed on CoinMarketCap, but not, some good projects, I suppose. All right. We'll get into my Bitcoin technical analysis here. So we did trade our downward trend line. We are starting to trend up. We've been trending up since the end of August. We had a massive red candle on the August 29th, traded sideways for a couple of days, had a nice little pump, obviously interest rates and those sorts of things. And big red candle today, kind of, not really. And it seems like a huge resistance for Bitcoin is right around $113,000. Now, with the new adjusted trend line, we are still moving down. We'll see what happens. But this big piece of news could pump the market. right? This big piece of news could pump the market. What's up, IC God? How are we doing? Good morning. Yeah, Bitcoin is currently dumping. I know. All right, so this is the news, right? So shout out to DGen News, one of my favorite sources for crypto content. If you're not following DGen News, give them a follow. This is a quote from Trump on Truth Social, which let's make who cares about truth? No one cares about Truth Social, right? This is a quote, right? I think it's a quote from Greg Ferranello, American Securities on Maria B. So whatever, but it's a quote. And Donald Trump posted it. If the Fed had followed what we published, they would have raised rates in early 2021. The entire organization is broken. It needs to be fixed. They need to use modern sources of information. We strongly disagree with Ken Griffin. We think incompetence is more important than to defend theoretical independence. He, too late, so Jerome Powell, right, has done a terrible job since he adapted a two-target. Is it too low? Is it too rigid? They follow data that's years delayed, right? They don't believe that money supply matters. It's like the Pope doesn't believe in Jesus, which is an interesting analogy, right? We think that's a much bigger problem than this notion that they are dependent or they're not independent. Whatever. But it says right here, right? So it says Chair Powell was late to raise rates. They need to come down here. There's no question about it. So talking about the next, which they're going to lower interest rates, right? 25 basis points. That's we're all guessing, right? He's dragging his feet. The Fed's going to come down here 50, 75, maybe 100. So I don't know if they mean like over a certain amount of rate cut periods or maybe at once. But now this is like kind of the new conversation. And we started hearing about this, maybe a few days ago. I think it was Friday, that we could be cutting interest rates a massive amount. So very interesting, right? Very interesting. I read that if the rate cut is 50 basis points or above, is it going to crash the stock market so that will increase the crypto market? No. So obviously inflation's a problem, right? So obviously cutting interest rates, what that does, it's like, so obviously interest rates affect everything, car loans, business loans, those sorts of things. So when you cut interest rates, it kind of incentivizes people to go out, take risks, take loans, buy houses, those sorts of things. We had like 0% back in like 2020 or 2021, right? So when you cut interest rates, obviously that like it could boost the economy because a lot of people will be out there, taking risks and those sorts of things, right? Refinancing and those sorts of things. And that would in theory pump the crypto markets, at least in the short term. 51.5 basis points. That's it. Good evening, sir. I know that this is out of the context, but I humbly invite you to come explore the possibilities of WikiCat coin. I appreciate the meme coin chill right in the middle of the stream, right? So obviously, with higher interest rates, it's kind of tough on the economy because a lot of people don't want to take risk. I mean, I have friends that are buying houses and those sorts of things. And like literally like 25 basis points on that can be the difference between like $50,000 and not having that extra $50,000 overall on your long-term like house payments. And that's why a lot of people are not buying houses right now. Interest rates, compared to what they were are not that bad, you could say. You could say over the last few years, but we've only had one rate cut over the last year. And, Jerome Powell did it right before the last election. And a lot of people thought that was political. So that's the point of interest rates, cutting them, raising them, and those sorts of things. And obviously, Trump wants the stock market to do good, and this would pump your assets, right? When it comes to inflation, I think we're kicking the can down the road. I think when it comes to the debt, we're past the point of no return. Awesome. What do you think about that? You think it was political? You think Daddy Jerome Powell's political? It's like one of those situations where we talk about saying, fuck them kids, right? Who cares about the next generation, baby? Pump my bags now. Inflation's only a problem. It's a problem, right? I was doing maybe we should watch this video at the end of the stream, but it talked about how yes, ancient Rome fell because of, barbarians and external pressures, but it started to crumble inside. And a big reason for that was their money became worthless over time, right? It's actually insane when you study that, right? Like the collapse of all great societies come with an issue. It's due to their money, the money, right? Because if you get to a point where your money becomes worthless, you can't pay for things, right? Things cost money. You can't pay your soldiers and those sorts of things, right? But in a place where inflation is, you could say, bad, your assets, they grow. Inflation, right? It's bad for savings, bad for money, good for assets. And that's why, gold, Bitcoin, other stocks and those sorts of things tend to inflate. And that's what happens during they say these wealth transfers, because the truth is a lot of people don't have money, discretionary income or whatever income, to spend on assets. They have to spend it on surviving. And that's how the middle class deteriorates. And that's how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And obviously, when you have no middle class and either mega rich or super poor, you have a place like Mexico, right? Like a third world country sort of deal, so it's insane. It's insane. The goal of rate cuts is to work them down to reasonable levels. So why did you start and not continue? If Kamala got elected, we'd be at 1.6%. See, that's the thing, Azam. Now, his excuse was we didn't know how tariffs were going to affect inflation. And the last PPI data was pretty bad. It was bad, right? So there's that. So that's actually a good reason, in my opinion. That it's a good argument. It's a good argument. They are buying houses over by me. Some are over $1 million and they're still buying, but there's multiple incomes in that house. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, how much are you putting down? How much of a loan are you getting? And those sorts of things. Like, you can buy houses, but it depends. Like, if it's hard to take a risk on something some people don't give a shit. They don't even care about that stuff. Like, they'll just buy a house and fuck the interest rates, right? But if you can, put up a massive amount down, or maybe pay it all out at once and those sorts of things, and maybe have multiple incomes, and maybe it doesn't matter. But if you're putting a little bit down and taking a large, 30-year mortgage out or whatever, like, you're going to pay a lot at the end of that or during that process, right? Hey, Rodney, what's up, bro? Bro, what's your take on Brett? Do you think it could reach 50 to 80 billion market cap size? Could you please share a deep analysis? I think that Brett, and I want to stick to the subject here, but Brett's definitely at least $10 billion in my opinion. Maybe 2 to 10. We'll see. But I think it can definitely hit its all-time high. I'm not going to do a deep analysis of that. We can do some of that near the end of the stream. But that's Jerome Powell's kind of excuse. Look, Trump is kind of tyrannical. He's a tyrant, right? He's trying to be. He's trying to do all this kind of crazy shit, right? Which some of it's good. Some of it I think is a little reaching. Right, that's what I think. I'm a Trump supporter here, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like we're not launching shit coins to, take liquidity out of the siphon liquidity out of the crypto market with Trump token, Melania token, and those sorts of things, and fucking World Liberty Finance with their dumb selling rules. Like, I'm thinking about that, right? But the alternative was Kamala Harris, and let me fucking tell you something. If I had to listen to that goddamn cackle for 4 years, I would have off myself. God, you know what I mean? So, anyways. So 50, 75 basis points, fuck it, 100. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Pump our bags. Kick the can down the road. Fuck them kids. Who cares about inflation? I don't care about my kids. Whatever. We'll see. Right now, even healthy inflation is 2% every year. I don't even know what the real inflation numbers are. People say like the CPI and PPI data is not completely accurate. But all I know is when I go to the grocery store every week over week, my groceries get a little more expensive. I literally get like a bag full of things and I'm like, Jesus Christ, $200? I can't imagine having like kids. If you're making a Costco trip, like you can see the impact, right? Osm says it's always an excuse. There is always a reason. The government can't always find a way to make things go their way or not. I mean, the feds control the markets. Nothing we can do. Yeah, absolutely. Agree. Nothing we can do, right? But I think that it's important that we don't have all the power with one person. It's important that's how the United States functions. We're not some fucking, we're not China or we're not Russia or Venezuela, right? There's different branches of government, right? That kind of checks everybody. So I like that, Okay, so let's get to the massive crypto hack that happened yesterday that turned out to be kind of a nothing burger, right? And shout out to Ozm. Oz and I are going to chat today, and we may have some sort of show for you guys on X. So another new show where you guys can tune in, listen to us blab about the market. That'd be pretty sweet. So Oz and I are going to chat that over, get something going for you guys. We'll think of a schedule, but it'd be pretty awesome. And then maybe some joint live streams, yap about the news and those sorts of things, right? Yeah, no, rate cuts are coming. I'm pretty sure, head mentalist, but we don't know how much, right? And if they're starting to say 50, 75, because I think that 25 basis points may be priced in already. That's what I think. I'm just saying that's what I think, right? But if we start talking about 50 and 75, I'm not sure if we're talking about over an extended period of time or all at once. I mean, things could get wacky, right? We can get wacky, which I'm here for, right? Okay. All right. So obviously we went over the crypto bubbles. This is what's going on over the last 24 hours. Some pretty, big red bubbles. We have Forum, IP. What's IP? I don't know, but MYX is a new crypto that hit the scene. I mean, it's up 1,300% over the last week. All right, so here's the big crypto hack that happened, right? So this came out from Charles Guillemet, who's the CTO at Ledger, which could be just a big ad for Ledger. But the thing is, like, everybody, and Javi thinks 25 basis points already priced in. Everybody was reposting this. It was like MetaMask. It was everybody, right? Everybody's freaking out, right? So there is a large scale supply chain attack in progress. This is yesterday. The NPM account of a reputable developer has been compromised and someone got phished, right? The affected packages have already been downloaded over 1 billion times, meaning the entire JavaScript ecosystem may be at risk. Think about how many things use JavaScript, right? The malicious payload works by silently swapping crypto addresses on the fly to steal funds. So like spoofing and those sorts of things. Like pretty much, when you go to swap something, it's you may send crypto. You may be thinking it's sending it to a wallet that you're used to sending it to, but it'll change it to like their wallet, right? If you use a hardware wallet, pay attention to every transaction before signing and you're safe. Right? If you don't use a hardware wallet, refrain from making any on-chain transactions for now. It's still unclear whether the attacker is also stealing seeds from software wallets directly at this stage, right? And so this freaked the entire market out. Everybody was freaking out, right? Head Mentalist, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Says, I love you, bro. One of the good guys I met in the crypto space. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And shout out to Kiev with the Desu family. Okay. So freaked everybody out. Everybody's fucking freaking out, right? So this is how it works, right? The malware is a crypto clipper built to steal funds. It works in two ways. Passive address swap silently replaces wallet addresses inside the decentralized application, so any dApp, right? Active hijack intercepts live transactions before signing and swaps the destination address. So a lot of people thought that they're going to be swapping something, and a lot of people are going to get wrecked, right? MetaMask even reposted about it. More info on supply chain attack that's making rounds. At this time, we have not seen any reports of crypto actually being stolen, and we will continue to monitor. Right? So this is a MetaMask developer, right? Heads up, Fox devs. There was a supply chain attack this morning via a number of compromised NPM packages. Technical details can be found here. The malicious code attempts to steal crypto in a variety of ways. However, we have not seen any reports of crypto actually being stolen. We will continue to monitor closely. As always, stay safe and don't click on links, right? And so this is the explanation of the hack, right? And any website that uses this hack's dependency, which could be a lot, right? It gives a chance for the hijacker to inject malicious code. So for example, when you click a swap button on a website, the code might be replaced. The code might replace the transaction sent to your wallet with a transaction sending money to the hacker. But in your wallet, you'd still see the bad transaction and need to approve it. It's not like you'll instantly get drained. It's not like connecting to some sort of, fake website or some fake protocol and getting drained, right? Once you sign for something, your whole wallet gets drained. Furthermore, this will only impact websites that pushed an update since the hacked NPM package was published, as the other products will have the old version. And most products pin their dependencies, so even if they push an update, they'll keep using the old save code, right? So it would need to be these different protocols and those sorts of things. You would need some sort of update for this malicious code and those sorts of things to be impacted, right? So your wallet is safe and the effective impact area is much smaller than all websites, right? But since you cannot really know if a product pinned dependencies or if they have some dynamically downloaded dependencies, very unlikely, it's just safer to avoid using crypto websites till this blows over and they'll clean up the bad packages. And what we found out is that there has been a total of $159 stolen so far in the NPM supply chain attack, right? These coins were sent to addresses as tagged with the original write-up shared by Ledger's CTO, right? So nothing really happened pretty much, but everybody was talking about it. Everybody's freaking out. And it's kind of scary that someone can, like a possibility like where someone could like hack something and put a malicious code out there and, potentially affect like some of the top decentralized applications, even though that didn't happen. But it's pretty scary that can happen. And, not a lot of people are on X all day. I mean, we are because we're weirdos and we're plebs, or crypto plebs. I'm sure a lot of us are on X, or at least in the crypto sphere, and everybody was talking about this. But you can get, if something like this could happen, if this happened, all your crypto could have been drained. But it didn't happen. Everything's good. Everything's good. But I thought this was hilarious. Everybody's freaking out. I was freaking out yesterday, so. There it is. All right, what do we got going on? Awesome says, dude, I'm still OCD and read my full address before sending. Is that just me? No, I mean, you can save addresses. Like if you're used to sending things someplace, they're not going to spoof like your saved addresses. But no, I double check everything too. And you should double check everything. because especially if it's in a non-custodial wallet, right, or even a hot wallet, cold wallet, whatever, once you send something, you're shit out of luck. Like there's no oops, not like a bank transfer or something where you can go talk to the bank and get it, like you can like unfuck it pretty much. Not in crypto. It's like you kind of just deal with what you get. Right. No rate cut is priced in. You guys love acting like economists, and none of you here know shit. No offense. So what do you know that we don't know? What do you think? Felix, you're compromised. You want Bitcoin to pump so you can break even and get out. So you are compromised, sir. So, hey, just because you're compromised, that's what we think. Right? That's what we think. So you want Bitcoin to pump so you can break even. We talked about this, buddy. Edgar said they stole my $2.49. Kenji says facts. It's always good to double check things. Yeah, for sure. Always double check. Felix was here talking about the news. Deep breath. I know, Felix. We're just here talking about the news. Deep breaths, and Felix is freaking out right now. He wants crypto to pump so he can break even. Felix, we've talked about this, bro. Well, we talked about it. Okay, don't act all brand new, buddy. All right, I think they're priced in. Right, we'll see. I guess, my guy. Yeah, I'm fucking with you, Felix, but it's true. It's true. Don't act like it's not true. We did see gold reach an all-time high again, which is pretty interesting, right? Where was it at? So another all-time high. This is like the fourth consecutive day, like weekday, that we've seen gold hit an all-time high. So gold is absolutely ripping. But I always say, hey, man, if you're looking for assets that you can move freely without having to load a bunch of gold in your backpack, in the case of World War III or zombie apocalypse, you have a ledger, right? Bitcoin. You can't bring 15 bars of gold through an airport. You can't bring $100,000 in cash through an airport, but you could bring your ledger, at least for now. They're not checking for that, right? But, gold smashing through all-time highs if you like to invest in precious metals. It must be tough, like actually having gold bars. I always worry about that. I always worry about like buying a bunch of precious metals. Like, what if you got to dip out? I don't know. Everything is going to happen. Just be cool. Yeah, no one knows what's going to go. No one knows. I don't know. No one knows. If we did, master traders, right? But we have an idea. But I do have to say though, so far, obviously, September is historically a bad month for crypto. But I would say, hey, since September 1st, we're actually up. I mean, September 1st, we were at 109K for Bitcoin? We're at 111 today. That's not nothing. Did they fix the hack? It didn't affect a lot of people, as much people as we thought. So I would say yes. Bitcoin is going to follow gold, always does and always has. Look at the history. We're going to rip. Yes. I mean, if we're talking about history, though, historically, September is a bad month for Bitcoin. I mean, who knows? You don't store your gold if you buy a lot at home or even in a storage locker in a bank. You often keep it stored in a highly secure gold vault that has a few bars, are yours, basically. I worry. What's up, Pygos? How we doing? Welcome. I just worry about that, man. What if it's like fucking World War III, and and those get like taken over or something? I don't know. What if they get blown up? I don't know. What if it's a zombie apocalypse and you can't get to there? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's freaky times. I don't know if you guys watched the Chinese military parade recently, man, but it's kind of crazy. First of all, communists love their parades, by the way. What the fuck is up with them in parades? They can really march, but can they fight is the thing. I just feel like we're kind of headed towards a conflict pretty fast. I mean, who knows? I think at the end of the day, a lot of us want to be fat and happy, especially Americans. But you have to understand, like other countries like China that want to be the world number one, right? The world superpower. I think they're out. They're out to get us. I think everything they do is out to get the United States. I really think so. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. And I think that's why this Venezuela conflict is very important. Look at it. I know Trump said no more new wars, but we've already bombed Iran, and now we're fucking up Venezuela. And we're saying it's because they're terrorists and drugs. But the real reason why we're in Venezuela is because we don't want anybody that's a major ally to our enemies in our hemisphere. And you can say that the United States is everywhere and we're swinging our dick everywhere, but hey, that's what happens when you're Big Daddy. You can do what you want until someone else is Big Daddy. Then, but it's kind of true, right? No new wars, but we're kind of having some new wars. I'm just saying, just an observation. No one is more battle ready than the United States. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We've got some practice. China has a lot of fakes in that shitty parade. China has its own problems they need to worry about. Yeah, it's especially with their economy, right? Yeah, and I know that. I know that's true. All right. What else do we have today? I don't think there was a lot of news today, really. NASDAQ to invest $50 million in Gemini crypto exchange. That's interesting. So NASDAQ to invest $50 million in Gemini crypto exchange. All right. We're starting to see some exchanges get some traction. Gemini, and then we have, crypto.com, obviously with the DJT whole partnership shit. Coinbase looking pretty good. So nice. When it's all said and done, what major exchange do you guys think is still going to dominate? Because right now it's still Binance eating everybody's lunch when it comes to volume, and volume is king, right? Let's see. U.S. Director of Digital Assets, which is, I guess this is the new guy that replaced Bo Hines, which Bo Hines is kind of a Chad, right? I don't know about this guy. Patrick Witt says creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve is a top priority. It fucking better. That's your job, buddy. All right, what else do we have for crypto news? And I think that might be it. When it comes to crypto news. I didn't see anything really. We'll see if we get some massive rate cuts. Let me see if I missed anything. No, that's pretty much it. All right, what's up with you guys? How we doing? GM, talk to me. You guys have any questions? I'll look up anything. Talk to me. If it's a meme coin, I just want to talk about the conversation, maybe interest rates, the hack, maybe, I don't know, maybe some price targets and those sorts of things. Would be good to chat with you guys. Edgar says, I'm fat and happy. Me too, bro. I'm fucking getting chomped. I'm not going to lie. I looked at myself naked yesterday. What's up, Tito420? GM, everyone. How we doing? No way you're blowing trees this early, right? No way. Yeah, but I did hear that China has a lot of fakes in that military parade for sure. China, communist countries just always seem like plastic. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. You can even see like how our military marches, right? Like the United States military walks with a swag. Like maybe we're not all in step. Like I don't know if you saw the United States military parade that we had recently for Trump. It was kind of impromptu. We don't have military parades because they're not fucking weird, but Trump wanted one. And the comparison with the United States Army with it's just bad. But like, and I have to say, like, we're average of like 20 pounds heavier. Our military is like an average of 25 pounds heavier per person. Hold on, Chinese. This is a funny. Oh, here it is. I mean, that shit's creepy, right? Hey, look, they beat us on marching. You know what I mean? But I'm Head Mentalist says doing good, bro. Just waiting for pump in memes. Yeah, dude, me too. Really. I mean, we had some memes do some pretty good things over the last week or so. We got some good memes. I mean, if you're looking at small cap memes, you're just gambling, really. But really, look at like a meme core up 100. Geez, why is CoinMarketCap just a bad website? 136% over the last 7 days. I think SPX did some, 25%. Pudgy Penguins 13%. Pepe up. I mean, it's been a really good week for memes. Rate cuts might happen, but I don't expect a lot from crypto. It's more similar to Trump's coronation. People expect the crypto to boom, but the opposite happened. What are you talking about? Crypto did boom. What you talking about? I mean, look at this. This is like literally, where are we at? This is like literally the election night right here. This is the election night, November 5th. Yeet. I mean, No, it did pump, I mean, Bitcoin was what 68,000. I mean, that's a pretty good pump. Now, it's institutions. We're not getting retail in, we're just not. Maybe if Trump sends us those tariff stimmies. Remember, Trump said that he might, send some stimulus checks, some tariff stimulus checks. which a lot of people say, Javi's like, just use it to pay down the debt. I think we're past the point of no return. With that, why not send us a stimmies? Let's create a 2020 environment where let's have another lockdown, fuck it. Hey, another lockdown, everyone gets stimulus checks, everyone gets unemployment, and they're making twice as much as they made out their job. I had so many friends, and I'm joking if you lost anybody to the pandemic, right? But I had a lot of friends who worked like they were like waiters and waitresses and stuff like that. These guys were like getting stimmies, and they were locked up in the house, and they were getting unemployment. And sometimes it took a while for them to get back pay, but they were making like 3 times as much as they made at their job, doing nothing. Let's create that environment again. Why not pump the markets? Shout out to the roaring kitty community. ETH is crushing soul memes right now. It's wild. Really, Brooke, I haven't really seen that. I've seen that pump fund starting to make a big comeback. Edgar says, I got a boner and looked at myself naked, and now I know what my girl feels. Okay, Edgar. Good morning. Crypto space will go nuclear once we get rate cuts. I do think so, yeah. Fuck the debt, send the stimmies. That's what I'm saying. Send me a stimmy check, baby. Let's get retail in the crypto. Let's do it. It's institutions. And I do think that if we have some sort of major capitulation, the market starts to dump, it's going to be institutions yeeting Bitcoin at a massive pace, right? Many people are expecting crypto to pump after rate cuts. Probably might be a good signal to sell. You know what it feels like? I breathe victory. It feels like with Bitcoin, especially, like we're close to like that peak euphoria. Like I'm not saying we are, but it just feels like it. It feels like 2021 where everybody's like, 69K is not the top. We're going to go to 100K and and those sorts of things. It feels like that. The difference is like we're starting to pivot when it comes to interest rates and those sorts of things. And with so much institutions, so much Wall Street or whatever in the crypto, like it's going to move with the stock market. We've seen that. It tends to move with the stock market. So there's that. No stimmy checks, deposit that money in retirement funds or the VA. I agree, Javi. I agree. It ain't going to happen though. Institutions were buying ETH. Would it still be under $2,500? I think a lot of cryptos would not be doing well. And we're starting to see the rotation into Ethereum right now. We're starting to see the big interest in Ethereum. So I agree. Yes, Tito 420. Retail is coming in a very big way. What's up, AB? How we doing? I hope so. But we don't have a SPF just yet. What do you mean, SBF? I think it's time we align these fundamentals with technical analysis. Yeah, I breathe victory, but even the charts, it's kind of tough to tell what's going on, right? I'm not the biggest TA guy, but I'm learning the basics and those sorts of things. And it's hard to tell what something's going to do long term, especially since a lot of the market depends on what's going to go on outside of crypto. And if you think about where we're at as a crypto, like as a whole, Bitcoin hits all-time highs, right? We're at I wouldn't say peak mania, because the truth is retail isn't in crypto. But what I would say is that as a entire crypto market cap as a whole, we've hit an all-time high, right? Bitcoin smashing through all-time highs. Everybody's interested in it. And the market as a whole has hit all-time highs. And some top altcoins have hit all-time highs. XRP, right? BNB, Tron, Solana, like a lot of cryptos, ETH, they have hit all-time highs. Like it's not like we haven't smashed through highs, we have. So I don't know. I don't know. Caleb, thank you so much for reposting the stream on X, guys. If you could repost the stream on X, it's the best thing you could do to help me out get more views, guys. We're having fantastic views here over on X. Monero will be more precious than Bitcoin in the future. What do you think on this? Well, there was an attack on Monero recently by Cubics, right? But yeah, obviously privacy. People like privacy. That is true. That is true. Javi, I'm blowing the whole check on shitcoins, hookers, and Yola. Hey, sounds like a good weekend. I'm an SPF. No, we don't have an SPF just yet. Maybe that's Michael Saylor. Do you think SPX is going to pump when it's listed on Coinbase? I don't think major exchange listings have the same pull or prestige they used to have, just because right when Trump got elected, everyone was listing fucking everything. Take a sec to be happy you're alive and in crypto. True. Makes sense. The problem is CT expecting price to pump is a single leg forever. I mean, retracement's going to happen for sure. You know what? I breathe victory. Like any top meme coins, have like a 60 to 80% retracement. They all do, right? And people are shocked when it happens. I'm not shocked. I think all cryptos have like massive retracements, right? Like that. Maybe not 8%, but like up there, 50, 60% and those sorts of things. And the truth is, like, crypto Twitter is about hype. Like, they want to feel good, so it is what it is. I think if you can accept that, then you're going to be fine. Bro, your analysis on Brett. All right, Brett on base, top base meme coin. Not listed on Coinbase yet, but still the top base meme coin. One of the top meme coins in the space. I think it's like top 10 or something like that. All right, all time, obviously down from a $2 billion market cap size. Strong community. It's a meme coin with no expectations, strong partnerships and those sorts of things. I think it has potential to move with the meme coin market. That means when altcoins pump, right? Maybe some of the top meme coins are altcoins technically, but when some of the top altcoins pumps, we'll start to see like a true meme coin season if that happens, right? Brett's going to move with the meme coin market, and then we're going to have maybe some things independently of Brett. Independent, like specific news to a project can pump something more. But I tend to think that Brett is going to move with the rest of the crypto market. I can't give any like price predictions and those sorts of things. Meme coins are crazy. And the truth is, like, supply control is so big on here. It's hard to do technical analysis on something where one person could sell and dump the entire chart, right? I think that Brett's going to be one of the stronger meme coins, and it's shown some strength, right? So I think Brett's fine. Now, price prediction, I think it can definitely hit its all-time high again of $2 billion, but I would keep it in between the $2 to $10 billion market cap range. I don't know. I'm just a guy, but that's what I think. Only way a token pumps on Coinbase is if the token has all tokens in the circulation and they have to buy and send the liquidity to centralized exchanges. If product sets aside token for LP, it will never pump. True, right? Because if they're using the LP to send the Coinbase, then they have it's not, they're just buying that liquidity. Yeah, true. That does make sense. Who's ready for season 5 of Stranger Things? I still only watched the first season. What I will say, Azam, about the Coinbase listing, or just base tokens in general, what I do like is that Coinbase is going to start allowing you to buy base memes within the app. So that's pretty cool. So I think they're going to use Aerodrome for their decentralized exchange within the app. This is somebody told me, I don't know. So pretty much all base tokens are going to get a Coinbase listing, which takes the prestige off of it even more. And I don't know if they're going to do that for other tokens too, but I know that for sure base memes you're going to be able to buy within the Coinbase app. So that's pretty cool. I think the Toke lock-in is the next one to pump. The Toki lock. What is that? You're welcome, Head Mentalist. 1 second. I saw Inglorious. Dude, Inglorious Bastards is so good. The Bear Jew. My name's Lieutenant Aldo Rain. I got a little engine in me. So if you're going to be part of my squad, you take on a debit. Each and every one of you owe me 100 Nazi scalps. And I want my scalps. And you will get me my scalps, or you will die trying. Sound good? Yes, sir. I love that movie so good. It's so much. All right. What's your name? Kindly explain to me why crypto assets that are not in the spotlight always outperforms that are not on the spotlight. That's not true, I would say. What's your name? Rodney. Shit, kindly. You must be Indian if you're saying kindly. I fuck with Indians. Never mind. I fuck with Indians, okay? Kindly explain to me why crypto assets that are not in. Well, here's the thing. The thing about the top cryptos are always in the spotlight and they outperform everything. Maybe not like on a small scale, like a fucking week time frame where you have some fucking token pumping 1,000%. But I mean, like over time, like Bitcoin is the number one meme coin. Coin. It's in the spotlight all the time. It's outperformed everything, and it's like the most stable in a volatile space. The issue in the crypto space is you have to ignore all the noise sometimes, unless you know what you're doing and you're disciplined enough to make some profits. Like, there's so much noise in the crypto space when all you really need to do is just buy some of the top cryptos and chill, So, bro, have you watched Terra Nova? No, trust me, do watch it. I have not watched it. 100% of the supply of Roaring Kitty is in circulation from day one. Nice, we like that. Star, good morning, baby. How we doing? Good morning. I've watched all 4 seasons in 2 weeks. God damn. That's badass about being able to buy base memes inside the app. That would help base tremendously. Yeah, Austin, because now every base token immediately is listed on Coinbase, right? Who needs to watch the movie now? Roddy just did the whole thing. Respectfully, what's your name? Oh, dude, shout out to fucking Hey, Austin, there's not a lot of us left still. We're still around, baby. You're welcome. You're welcome, I Breathe Victory. You're welcome. I'm playing my drums all day. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing my drums all day, and I'm playing Magic the Gathering all day. That's what I'm doing all day today. You guys want to know what I'm doing? I'm learning Stockholm Syndrome, my muse. If you guys know that song, it's fucking sick. Got it down a little bit. But playing this and Magic the Gathering all fucking day. And I got to call Austin in a little bit. Austin, we got to make this phone call quick, baby. You know? But we need some more Ebony and Ivory streams. You know what I mean? And you just wait. My beard's going to get mighty, bro. I'm going to catch up to your ass, bro. You just wait. It's getting good. You know? It's getting good. All right. What else we have? Alabama and what, Kayla? Wait, what? What else do we have going on? Yeah, Inglourious Bastards is good. I'm new to crypto. Was this hack really bad? Like, is it safe to invest? Yeah, you're fine, random man. Yeah. No, the hack, it's fine. It was kind of a big nothing burger, but everybody was talking about it. It could have been bad. And pretty much what the hack was, it kind of apparently would push software out to a bunch of crypto decentralized applications that would make it so when you swap crypto, it would like spoof your transaction to make it think like you're sending it to a person or you're swapping for something, and you would send it to like one wallet. Turns out none of that happened. And I think only $159 was stolen. So you should be okay. Yeah. So that in a nutshell, that's what happened. And, you know, it's worth talking about because everybody, I mean, MetaMask, like all the top wallets are talking about it, Ledger CEO and those sorts of things. So North Korea is a wild one. You know, I watched something on North Korea recently, and obviously, like their economy depends a lot on what they do, especially like with crypto. They steal a lot, right? Stuff they do illegally because of all the sanctions placed against them, right? Obviously, I don't know if you guys remember back in like 2020 during Trump's first, or 2016 to 2020 during Trump's first presidency, he met with Kim Jong-un and stuff like that, and they were expected to do some sort of deal. But part of the deal that Trump wanted was for them to just get rid of their, their nuclear program altogether, and they would, help them. But they didn't want to do that. So obviously they hit him with sanctions and those sorts of things. And it kind of made Kim Jong-un look like a fool because he was telling his, people that he's going to be like the first one to, like a progressive like leader, right? Have some sort of relations with the United States and obviously help their people are starving over there, right? It's a true dictatorship over there in North Korea. And they have to commit crimes in order to keep their economy afloat. And obviously a big, avenue for that is crypto because they've made a lot. I think they're called Lazarus Group. So North Korea depends heavily on crime, especially cybercrime, to keep their economy going. But yeah, I watched a documentary on that recently. Yeah, Kim Jong-un was like a guy who really, really was supposed to help his people are starving over that. A big famine, COVID really fucked them up. A lot of things, right? I've heard about quantum computing. Do you think it will pose a problem in the future? So, a lot of people, I don't know, random man, but a lot of people are saying that, I'm listening to, one, not everyone can have quantum computers. And two, it's like 10 to 20 years out from being able to do those sorts of things. So I'm hearing like conflicting information on that too. Because look, if it gets to a place where we can crack seed phrases and those sorts of things, like you're fucked pretty much, right? Like, what can you do? And that'd be the bull case for centralized exchanges, because then you could just, centralized exchanges can protect your crypto in that sort of way, so, which is interesting, right? Lazarus Group, the great hack of Ron. What's Ron? Thank you so much for the thumbs up, head mentalist. Yeah, but if you know about Lazarus, I mean, every major power has a pretty based hacker. I love like hacking stories. It's pretty cool. What's going to be the new perk after 3 years of memberships? Come to Tampa and I'll give you the perk. I'm just kidding. That sounded very gay. But yeah, so, when it, I don't know, maybe I should you get a new logo, but maybe I should do something for you guys. Here's the thing. I want to do a members only stream, but I would have like 2 people during that stream because I don't have a lot on YouTube anyways. And if you guys are watching, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So if we get big enough, okay, exactly, Ren. So if we get big enough, then we'll do like members only things, but like, I'm already struggling for views as it is. So if I make member exclusive content, it's like, fuck, But thank you so much, Samuel. I do appreciate that. Just know that your membership means I love you a little more than everybody. I love everybody, but I love you a little more, Yeah, but crypto's interesting. And so when a lot of these, United States politicians talk about how crypto's used for crimes and those sorts of things, I think what they're talking about less like everyday Joes, like money laundering and those sorts of things, and more maybe like, not superpowers, but other nations, because that is true, right? What's up, Distance? How we doing? Welcome, welcome. We are already big enough. Pause. I'm just kidding. Ronin hack. Ronin hack. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. So 540 million. And then recently the Bybit. Yeah. The Ronin hack was crazy. You know what was crazy about that, Pygos, is because they knew about that like 10 days before anyone talked about it. Distant says, I'm new here. Distant, welcome to the stream. Hope you like it here. Smash the like button to go live every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for all the crypto news and general blabbing. Appreciate you. Yeah, Ronin hack was crazy. So obviously Ronin, I think with Axie Infinity was big. I think that you need to have those walls to hold your Axies and stuff like that. I used to play Axie Infinity, lame ass game. But yeah. Bro, I have a queue. Let's say if I invested in some meme coins and it pumped hard, how I know the top? I mean, when should I be sure of that? Bro, this is the time to sell. I know. So here's the thing, head mentalist. We don't know. You don't, especially if it's a small cap meme coin, you don't know. So the idea is to have a price target before you get into a crypto, a trade, and execute on whatever your target is. What is your target? A 2x, a 1.5x, whatever the fuck, I don't know, whatever it is, 5x, 10x, execute. Maybe the crypto pumps and you miss out on a million X, or most likely, it dumps and you make some money. So there's that. So it's all on you. Now, there's technical analysis and those sorts of things, right, that can help you out, guess the market. But especially for small meme coins, like technical analysis is worthless, right? What you should do, head mentalist, is get a protocol like Photon, or where you can snipe and like make quick transactions, so you can be like, so you can always be, so you can be first with selling and buying and those sorts of things. And when it comes to meme coins, like I use this analogy every time. It's like not analogy, but meme coins, you could buy a meme coin, you can go take a shit or go to work for the day, and you come back, and by the time you've done all that, it could already have 100x and then rugged, so those sorts of things. Bro, land is used for crime, gold. No, I know, Javi, but I think, like, obviously, like North Korea, we're talking about North Korea in particular. Like, the thing is, like, when politicians say, oh, crypto is used for crimes, money laundering, it's like, how did anyone ever commit crimes before crypto? How did anyone money launder before crypto? Like, it's not something new. And if you look at the statistics, it's like 0.5% of all crypto users are cryptos used for crime. So it's a very small percentage. But I think like where we see it on a large scale is like North Korea and shit like that, I heard that XRP is going to be bigger than Bitcoin, not price-wise. Market cap? Well, maybe. I don't know. Now, the thing about XRP is like it's been in purgatory for the last 5 years because of the whole SEC situation. There's that. And so it couldn't grow. I think of like crypto as the early internet days, where just because one thing is leading the way doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever. Like maybe MySpace, maybe Ask Jeeves, maybe like Yahoo, and those sorts of things. Like just because those things were dominant in the beginning doesn't, like chat rooms, doesn't mean that it's going to be the dominating force now, like 10 years, 20 years down the road. So maybe Bitcoin will still be a form of store of value, maybe a form of currency, probably not a form of currency, but store of value. And then maybe other cryptos can get a higher market cap size. Like that's possible, because for XRP to flip Bitcoin right now, it'd need to be like $38 or something like that. So I don't know. When it comes to XRP, the utopian dream is that it replaces the SWIFT banking system, which already has 200 countries and territories participating in it. So it's really pie in the sky, and used on a massive scale, so it actually burns. And then maybe the developers will stop fucking dumping on you guys because they're dumping hundreds of millions of dollars in XRP, So there's that. You're welcome, Distance. You're welcome. If you are new to the channel, Roddy will send you feet pics. I will not. Maybe. What's the last meme coin you gambled on? Yes, it's called Your Rage. Guys, if I talk about meme coins here, I'll let you guys know what I'm in. I've been putting out some bangers, okay? I think it's called Your Rage. Was it Your Rage? Oh, Rage Guy. Rage Guy is one I posted. It's doing well. So I posted this at $2.5 million yesterday. And it's at 4.2. So you made a little less than a 2x if you bought when I posted. So another small cap meme coin doing pretty well, called Rage Guy. It's supposed to like kind of play on the whole troll meme craze we're having right now. The troll token that did well. So Solana meme coin from Pump Fun called Rage Guy. It's doing very, very well. So this is the last one. Now, ape with caution, but it's up quite nice since I talked about it. And if you're not following me on X, follow your boy on X. I have some good plays, right? Another one we talked about was BOMO, which is another base meme coin that I was working with. They're down quite significantly, but I made a video on this around a $3 million market cap size at 5.7, but it did get up to like 8, so there's that. And this one that I think is not doing well right now called Volt. It's actually down significantly. But I made a post on it, I don't know, around like 20 million. It got to like a fucking bajillion, and then now it's dumping a lot. So, look, if you bought when I made the video or when I made my first tweet, it did some insane. I mean, you're up like 10-50 next, like something crazy. But obviously, if you held, you're down, right? So there's that. So those are some of the plays that I'm in. XVM, I'm still holding my XVM. Obviously sold some. Rage Guy, and then what else? Rage Guy. And then I'm working with XVM too, so I'm making a video for them and those sorts of things. And then what else? And then BOMO, obviously. So there's that. Small cap meme coins, do check out WikiCat, probably for a bigger play. Currently, market cap is 116 million. That's pretty high. What's your take on World Liberty Finance? Do you think it could be investment for the future? Oh, don't even get me started on World Liberty Finance. I think that the Trumps are not stupid, and their net worth has already gone up, I think, like $7 billion or something like that. Or it's already up to like $7 billion as a collective, something like that. I think that just like Trump token, Melania token, I think World Liberty Finance is here for them to make money. I do think Eric Trump cares about crypto. I do. But just the fucking sell rules and stuff like that on World Liberty Finance, And here's the thing, right? If you're going to get into something like World Liberty Finance or financial, my bad. Like when something has a massive pre-sale, and look, it wasn't just VCs, right? It's not venture capital. This is not just some elite people getting to invest in this. This is a public pre-sale. But when you get into like a pre-sale, right? It's going to dump. People are going to sell, right? Because some people are cool with dumping on all the retail that's going to get in after the token goes live because all the hype, right? The truth is a lot of people bought after this went live, right? And it dumped, and then it started to pump a little bit, right? It's starting to get a little bit of a pump, which is pretty nice. Nice recovery. It's starting to dump again. But it could be good now that it's kind of bottomed out, right? It's still a 5.5 or $5.6 billion market cap size, pretty high, right? Now, obviously, the token is freezable. What's interesting is that they always, obviously Eric Trump is talking about, how, the banks were, fucking freezing people's accounts and those sorts of things. But these guys are freezing people's wallets, So it's like, okay, do we want decentralization or do we not? I know they have rules and sell rules and those sorts of things. And they came out and explained in detail why they did some of those freezes. There's 2 high profile figures, I think a Polygon dev, and then obviously Justin Sun, who had their accounts messed with. We got to check up on that. I'll check up on that tomorrow or something like that. It's kind of too late to do a deep dive of that. But we know that there's some stuff going on. Maybe with Justin Sun's fault. I don't know. But the truth is we're all talking about DeFi and blah, 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 and fucking banks debanking. And that's why we care about crypto. And it's like they're fucking freezing people's wallets. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? And people that still hold some of the tokens, because they're vested, right? Most of the tokens are vested. They have a unlock schedule. Right. So people can vote on whether or not to unlock the tokens. And I think that if the price is doing well and it's pumping, they're going to vote to unlock it so they can dump more. But if it's not doing well, they'll keep it, keep them locked and then let it pump and dump and those sorts of things. Like, here's the thing. This is like, I can't help but like lose faith on Trump and crypto, some of it, because when we have Trump token launching, when we have Melania token launching, and we have the guys like Hayden Davis and others people that have been sniping these products perfectly and making a bag, right? And these guys' connections to Yeezy tokens and all these other shady products in the space, celebrity tokens, I can't help but think they're all in it together. And they're all just here to make money. That's what I can't. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, I get it. Some people get lucky and make good plays on the fucking blockchain. But you don't invest $250,000 into a random Trump token without knowing it's going to do well. You don't do that, right? No one does that. No one just blows $1 million investing in a random Solana meme coin without having some insider information, knowing it's going to pump. That's my issue with this whole thing. It's like, oh, it is what it is. We're loosening regulations so that people can do shit like this so they can get rich in this space while they can. And my thing is like, don't get mad about it. Accept it for what it is and get rich. Try to get rich at least. Okay. Bro, which memes do you hold? Like your biggest bag, Pepe. And a few other ones, but I like Pepe. Look it. I know, right? Jayhawk knows, right? So what's the one coin you are still holding even though it's hopeless? I mean, I have a lot of dust. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't want to knock any projects here, but there's one in particular I could talk about, but I'm not going to because their team always reaches out to me. And I don't want that to happen, you know. And if you guys could smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new here, it'd be nice. But wow, we have over 1,000 viewers on X, which is pretty sweet. Nice. Awesome. Pretty sweet. Appreciate all the love today, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's as obvious as we think it is, right? It's like, come on now. Like people are doing all kinds of crazy. It's not Chainlink now, but people are doing all kinds of crazy shit. It's like, dude, come on. You know, Rodney's the best in the space, always answers the people with their questions. That's what I like about him. I appreciate that. I try to answer all the questions. I know. Crypto aside, doesn't it feel weird to talk to a screen? No, I've been doing it for a while now. Honestly, this is the best part of my day. Being able to talk to you. I know it sounds a little gay, but it is. It's the best part of my day to get to talk to my online friends for sure. Yes, but when it breaks out, it's probably going to be huge. I'm gonna bag some. What are you bagging? Oh, XRP. Yeah, it could. Yes, this is a Buccaneers creamsicle jersey. Baby, what's up, Astro? Let's go, baby. You know, want to know, baby, undefeated. Don't talk to me. How about the Chargers beating the Chiefs, though? Whew. Bro, check out Biddy OG Bitcoin Mascots is going to send soon. Don't ever change, bro. I haven't. I literally been chatting with my chat since the beginning of time. Shout out to all my DGens here, like Edgar, Samuel, you know, Javi, Kayla, you know, Austin, like Bud, you know, all these guys that have been Bryn Rex, even though Bryn Rex is not a member. You know, I'm not calling you, I'm just saying. And Mizzy, Matt, like they've been here since the beginning. Tito, you know, everybody's been here since the beginning. You know, I always yap with you guys. Got to answer the questions, you know. Yeah. Jayhawk is the best part of his day. Pause. Yeah. But this is a Buccaneers creamsicle jersey. Hell yeah. Shout out to the Bucks. Have you heard of Pepito? Since when are you trading? Since I got into crypto. Maybe like 4 years. Have you heard of a Pepito project? I have not. I'll check it out for you though. Why not? I'll always pull up the chart here because I have some more questions. Pepito, this one? Is it this one at 4.3K? I didn't say pause. I said what the fuck I said. It's Kayla. Come on. DJing forever. I've heard a hack is done at the yeah, but still rather careful not trusting it. Yeah, it's probably okay, Mr. Poison. It's probably okay. Everything's probably okay. One more week, then we fly. I hope so. Let's go, chat. Chat knows. It's in pre-sale, bro. See, here's the thing about pre-sales. I'm still in the camp that we haven't had a good pre-sale since fucking Terrarium. And if you don't know what that is, I don't know what to tell you. Right? I think that pre-sales, a lot of them, people are just going to dump on the retail. That's what I think. So if you're in the pre-sale, hey, when it launches, make 2 to 3x and get the frick out of there, right? Kayla says, what did I do? You know what you did, Kayla. You got the wheelchair emojis. We know in this chat, Jayhawk is known for putting people in wheelchairs, right? Apparently, I don't know. Is Pepito going to rug me, bro? No. It's not going to rug you, but it's going to dump massively after the pre-sale, I think. We'll see. Yeah, stay away from pre-sales or buy when it bottoms out. I mean, I don't know. It could do well, though. You never know, right? So it's fully safe, in your opinion, gathering information from several sources. It seems like it. So if you guys just came here for the hack situation, so pretty much what happened was some person got phished, right? And it was kind of pushing software that would make it so some of your transactions, decentralized applications, some transactions, right? It would spoof your transaction. So it would make you think like you were signing a transaction for someone else or something else, and it would send the crypto to that person, right? And everybody was talking about the Ledger CTO, MetaMask, all these people were talking about it. But it turns out that only $159 was stolen from the NPM supply chain attack. These coins were sent to addresses tagged in the original write-up shared by Ledger CTO. So that's it so far, right? And that's it, pretty much. That's it. It was a big deal because I think everybody talked about it, which is important. And it's kind of scary that could happen. but it's kind of like software that you'd have to update and push and those sorts of things. Rodney, if someone asked me if I would change anything about you, I would tell them I wouldn't change not even the size of your head, and we love. Okay, I love you too, motherfucker. True, I felt the same way. I'm gonna get rugged. I don't know if you're gonna get rugged, bro. I got my wheelchair reserved though. Oh my goodness, he's always in the right headspace. Okay, give us Bitcoin emblems next to our names. Doge is played. Okay, I'll do that for you. All right, guys, that's it. 75 basis points is imminent next week. That's fucking crazy. We'll see. But all right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hey, guys, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel on your way out. Give me your boy a share if you're watching over on X. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we run it back, baby. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now. I appreciate you, Mr. Poison. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.